Welcome back to the part 2 of our INFS111 past questions review. That is into information in society past questions review. The first video we have been able to go through 40 questions, and we are going to also continue with the remaining 40 questions. The part 3 will come during the course of the week, right? Okay, part 3 will come during the course of the week. Probably by tomorrow the part 3 will come. So these 3 videos are going to help you study well and prepare well for your interim assessment and then your exams. But there will be some along the line, but for the meantime, this is what I think it will be helpful or useful for you. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, share it with your friends, share it with your brothers, share it with anybody that is closer to you. Share it with the person, let them subscribe to my channel, and God will bless you. And please, if you also want to support us in any way that you want to support us, just help us just to improve our video qualities and other stuff. We are currently setting up studio or YouTube studio, and anyway, whichever support you can support, just let us know or get in touch with me. You can check my bio, my details are there. You get in touch with me, or if you want to donate to our channel, it's not easy. We go through so many challenges. We don't really sleep because of these things, but it is something that at least a lot of people are making. It is making impact. A lot of people are benefiting from it. So if I'll sacrifice, and a lot will enjoy, that is it. I sacrifice my sleep, because yesterday like this I slept for like only 2 hours. I have to wake up and record another video. So this one like this, all these questions, I have to put them together. It took me the whole of yesterday to do that, but we are just there to help each other. So please, with a subscription alone, if you are not even in a position to support or anything, make sure you subscribe to the channel and also share it on your various platforms for us. That one alone means a lot for mean a lot to a lot to us. God bless you. So let me continue with number 41. It says libraries include uses of libraries include the following, except A, for recreational purposes, B, to consult periodicals, C, for specific uses, and D, all of the above. So uses of libraries include all the following, and the answer is what? All of the above. None of the option is not what uses of what library. All the options here are what they are uses of libraries. So the options that are not part of what the uses of libraries are not inclusive. So it is what all of the above. So with this one, yes. So let's look at the next one. The next one, which is what? Number 42. Number 42. Information. So sorry. This one, it should have been what? None of the above, right? None of the above should have been the option. So instead of all of the above, it should be what? None of the above. So let's move forward. Yeah. Let's look at number 42. Information that is not meant for public consumption is called what? Information that is not meant for public consumption is called A, private information, B, public information, C, personal information, and D, individual information. So it is what? A personal information. A private information, right? Information that is not meant for public consumption is called a private information. Number 43. Which of the following is not an example of private information? A, marketing information gathered by company. B. Information on the development of a product by an industrial organization. C. Information about corruption. And then D. Health information. So which of the following is not what? An example of private information. So please, which one is the answer? This one, if you watch the first video, you should be able to tell me. Number 43, what is the answer? Tell me if it is A, B, C, or D. So the answer is what? Information about corruption. Information about corruption. Corruption is what? Something that we shouldn't tolerate in our society. So this kind of information, we can't keep them private. They must be public. We must just what? To educate others not to involve themselves in it. But all this information gathered by companies, the companies won't release all the information they gather about. Also what? Information about the development of a product. There's no way Tasty Tom are going to tell you about how they develop their product. And also health information. No one will tell you his health information unless the person trusts you. It is what? It's a private information. So number 44, the following are reasons why companies keep information private, except A. Edge over competitors. B. Involve huge sum of money and time. B. Information gathered through research may reveal negative aspects of a product. And then D. To encourage transparency and open competition in the market. So the answer is D, which is what? To encourage transparency and open market in an open competition in the market. That is the answer. Why is it the answer? Because often reasons why they keep information is what? Is to have edge over what? To edge what? Over their competitors. Okay, to have edge or to have a competitive advantage over their competitors. And sometimes because they pay a lot of money for it, they don't like to what? To throw it away just like that for people to use it for free. Assuming you have invested $1 billion in a certain research and somebody needs that information, do you think you give it out? You won't give it out just like that because you paid for it. It has become what? Your property, and you are keeping it. And also information gathered through research may reveal negative aspects of a product. Sometimes most of these researches, it covers the negative aspects of their product. It could be that some of these food that or some of these products you are buying, it has some negative effect, but because the company knows it, but they can't stop it because it is a business and people have embrace it already. So with time they try to improve and then make sure that they change that system to make sure that they deliver quality product, but they won't tell you. But it will be internal issue which they will discuss among themselves. But to encourage transparency and competitive and open competition in the market, that one is what is not an option, because mostly they don't keep information because of what these things. Mostly they want to come out and compete in the system, right? So it is not the reason why they keep it. They come out, they reveal their product, all because of what? Competition, right? So this is not an option. Number 45, what type of government information should be kept private for the protection or the security of the state? Okay, which of the type of government information should we keep private? A. Human rights information. B. Top secret. C. Medical information. And D. All of the above. So the answer is what? Top secret. Top secret is something about the military tactics. It's mostly sometimes about military tactics, the threat to the country and some of these stuff. And there's no way government will reveal this information. But human rights information, it is what? Already public. They don't keep human rights information from what? Citizens. And medical information too, it is someone's medical information. Okay, and if this information even goes out, there's no way it's going to affect the security of the country. Assuming a Gamsa right now, they've reported that one Ghanaian has had what? A COVID-19. It doesn't have any security implication on the country. Okay, so with this one, government won't keep this kind of information. All right, And then also in human, they would rather publicize it for people to be careful. In human right too, it doesn't have any what security effect, but top secret, if you reveal it, people, countries will attack you, or probably based on that to invade your country. Number 46, information is often absolute. Absolute. Information is often absolute. That's true or false. Is it true or false? Information is not entirely absolute. No information is 100%, okay? It is sometimes accurate, but not all the time. So it is what? False. Let's look at number 47. Which professional which professional groups are typically governed by ethical codes regarding to disclosure of personal information? A. Teachers and engineers. B. Lawyers, doctors, and bankers. C. Accountants and architects. D. Journalists and psychologists. So the professional codes, which are professional groups who are typically governed by ethical codes regarding to disclosure of personal information, are the doctors, lawyers, and bankers. If you're a doctor, it is not what your code of ethics doesn't allow you to reveal someone's medical report or someone's health issues out. And also, if you're a lawyer too, a client can kill somebody, but if he tells you, that doesn't give you what the opportunity. Your work doesn't permit you to go and tell anybody that your client killed the person until what you don't have the person give you the command or give you the authority or the give you the go ahead. You can never say it. And also about the bankers too, if you know I come and save money in your bank and you know my worth, you don't have that right to disclose it unless I disclose it myself. If you do this, you can be fired. They can sack you because of these things, or your company, they can sue your company because of these things. So there are things you are being governed by what code of ethics. Number 48, which okay, what is one of the primary reasons for professional ethic code governing what the disclosure of personal information? What is some of the reasons why the professional code of ethics govern or the disclosure of personal information? A. To ensure financial gains for professional. B. To prevent irreparable damage to individuals, including emotional, psychological, and sometimes physical harm. B. To create barriers for accessing personal information. And then D is what? To prioritize the convenience of professional over a well-being individual. The answer is B. To prevent irreparable damage to the individual, which includes what? The psychological, emotional, and what? And physical harm. Number 49. Primary source of information includes the following except A. Observation, B. Experiment, C. Subjective estimation, and D. Publications. So the primary source of information include all of the following except what? Publication. Publication is not what? A primary source of information. It is not information gathered at what? First hand. So publication is what? A secondary source of what? Information. Number 50. Information gathered first hand is called A. Primary information, B. Secondary information, C. Tertiary information, and then D. Intangible information. With this one, I made it clear to you earlier when I was explaining. I told you this thing. So this one, number 50, what is the answer? Number 50, what is the answer? I've already explained that. So information that received gathered at first hand, okay? Information gathered first hand is called what? It's called primary information. Let's look at number 51. Collecting primary information is first time collecting primary information is time consuming and expensive most at times. To avoid these problems, information user may resort to dash A. Primary source, B. Secondary source, C. Tertiary source, and then D. Information source. So it is what they resort to secondary source of information. Because collecting information sometimes is consuming and expensive, most people would normally resort to what the secondary source of information. Okay, that is it. And then let's look at number 52. Secondary source of information include the following except A. Surveys, B. Internal company information, C. Purchase outside information, D. Government agencies. So the answer here is what? Survey is a first-hand information. Is that not it? If you go out and we interview people about the election 2024, about who they will vote for, it is what? A first-hand information. So it is what? It is a primary source of information, not a secondary. But internal company information is a secondary. Purchase outside information is also what? A secondary. And then government agencies is a secondary information. Let's look at number 50. People dash and machine may be involved in what? Controlled experiment in order to elicit relevant information to solve a problem. So the example, the answer here, the options is what? A. Data, B. Information, C. Equipment, and D. Technology. So the answer is what? Equipment, which means that people, equipment, and machines. People, equipment, and machines. So pay attention to these things. People, equipment, and machines may be what? May be involved in controlled experiment to elicit what? Relevant information to solve a problem. Number 54. This means obtaining information from experts in the field. Which of them is what? That means obtaining information from experts in the field. A. Observation, B. Experiment, C. Survey, and then D. Subjective estimation. The answer is what? Subjective estimation. Subjective estimation involves what? Obtaining information from what? Experts in what? In the field. Number 55. Information can be effective and it must be what? Impartial. True or false? The answer is what? True. Information can what? It be effective and must be what? Impartial. It shouldn't be what? It shouldn't be biased. Okay, you should not be what? Biased because what? You support party A. If something bad is happening, you go and see good things. Whilst what? It is what? The bad way, right? So you what? You it is what? The answer is what? Through, which is what? Information can be what? Information. For information to be effective, it must what? It must be what? Impartial. Number 56. Information is valid if it is meaningful and relevant to its intended purpose. True or false? The answer is what? True. Information is what? Valid if it is meaningful and relevant to its purpose. Number 57. This refers to whether the information gives an accurate picture of what it seeks to describe. So which of them refers to what? Whether the information gives an accurate picture of what it seeks to describe. It is called what? Reliability. Reliability refers to whether the information gives what? An accurate picture of what it seeks to describe. Number how do you call it? Number 58. For information to be useful, it must be based on homogeneous data so that the number and the type of reporting units are the same at any given time. This is to say that the relevant factor must be what? Consistent at all time. So we say that it is what? Consistency. It is what? Consistency. The number 59, it says that information is highly important factor in determining what? Its usefulness to the user. Information is what? Highly important factor in determining its usefulness to the user. So the answer is what? Age of information. So the age of information is what? Is a highly important factor in determining what? The usefulness of the user, or the what? Currency information, or is what? Either you put aid of information or currency information. Let's look at number 60. Publishers involves in the following. Okay. A. So they involve in, which of them do they involve in? A. Manuscript stage. B. Editing. C. Printing. D. Distribution. And E. All of the above. So publishers involve in all the following, except what? Which of them is the option? Okay, they involve, which of them are they involving? So the answer is what? All of the above, because the publishers involved in what? Manuscript stage. They involve in editing. They are involved in what? Printing and distribution. All of them are what? Part. So the answer is all of the above. Number 61. Information is dormant, passive, and what? Motionless, with little or no value if it is not dash. So information becomes what? Passive, dominant, and motionless with little or no value if it is not dash what? If it is not what? Communicated. So they can eliminate what? Passive there, and then you provide, or they can eliminate what? How do you call it? Motionless. So you see, it can, the question can also be reframed as that information is dormant dash and what? Motionless with little or no value if it is not communicated. You get it? So you should be able to what? To provide it. Number 62, he says that communication is basic to all human societies. True or false? Yes, it's true. Communication is basic. People rely on what? On it. It is basic. With everything that we do has to do with what? Communication. It is basic what? To all human societies. Number 63. A process by which messages are exchanged between individuals through a common system, language, signs, and gestures are called A. Information. B. Communication. C. Technology. And D. Transfer. So the process by which what? Messages are exchanged between individuals through common systems, language, signs, and gestures are called communication. This is what? Communication. Number 64. Communication process involves which of the following? So when you say communication process, it's how what? We communicate. So it involves what? So the answer is what? A sender, message, receiver, and feedback. So communication process is what? The four communication process include what? Sender. So you are the one who will sit down and come up with the idea, and then you transfer the idea to what? To you. You write it. Okay, so when you write it, that is what the message. And after writing, you will send it to the person you intend to send the message to. This is what we call what? The receiver. And when the receiver receives the message, the person is supposed to send you feedback. And feedback is the most important aspect of communication. If you communicate to someone, the person hasn't been able to give you a feedback, it is what? The wrong way, or it's what? A bad move. So sender is what? That is what the, and then the last what? The ending of what? The communication process is what? The communication or feedback is what? The last stage of communication process. So it can ask you that, what is the last stage of communication process? Then the answer should be what? Feedback. Let's look at the number 65. Which of the following are examples of what? Non-verbal communication methods? A. Conference, bookshop, seminars. B. Exhibitions and displays. C. Visual aids. And then D. Drama. So the answer is what? Exhibitions and display. Exhibition and displays are what? They are non-verbal communication methods. They are non-verbal, but all of them, conference, workshop, and seminars, are what? Verbal. Visual aids are what? Visual aids are also part, and then you have drama. Okay, so That is what exhibitions and what display. Number 66. Information dissemination in pre-literate society include the following except A. Language, B. Writing, C. Observation, and D. Limitation. So information dissemination in pre-illiterate society include all the following except what? So the answer is what? Writing. In the pre-illiterate society, that is before writing began, okay, they used to communicate among themselves through what? Languages, okay, and then observations and imitation, but writing isn't part of it. So this question is very important. You should take note of this question. Number 67. Which of the following is not part of pre-illiterate society? Okay, or the activities that take place in the pre-illiterate society. A. Graphic representation. B. Pictorial representation of information. C. Tribal marks. And then E. D. All of the above. So the answer is what? The answer is all of the above. Okay, all of the above. Okay, it's not part of what? Okay, the thing. So none of the above instead of what? All of the above. Forgive me. Okay, it is what? None of the above, because all these things are what? Inclusive. They are part of what? The things that used to that used to happen in the pre-literate societies. So it's none of the above. Number 60, what do you call it? Number 68. Before writing began in Africa, the dash was what? Commonest form of communication and education. So before writing began in Africa, A. Writing was what? The commonest dash. B. Oral tradition was what? The commonest form of what? Communication. C. Drawing was the what? Was the commonest form of communication and education. And D. Language was what? The commonest form of communication and what? And education. So what is the answer? The answer here is what? Is that is oral tradition. So before writing began in Africa, oral tradition was the commonest form of communication and what? Education. Number 69. Formal education is the main means of dash. So in the how do you call it? In the pre-literate society, formal education is the main reason for. So if it comes in a form of feeling like this, it is what? The answer is what? Socializing or socialization. So formal education is the main means of what? Socializing. Or these things are either you provide what? Socializing or passing on human experience from generation to generation. So that is what? That is it. Let's look at number 70. How information users obtain. How information dash is how information users obtain what they require from the large and ever increasing stock of information available today is what we call what? A. Communication. B. Information access. C. Information transfer. And D. None of the above. So the answer is B. B is what? Information access. So information access is what? How information users obtain what they require from what? The large and ever increasing stock of information available today. Number 71. Dash is responsible for making this huge store of information available and accessible to users. So the answer is what? Information handlers or information experts. So information experts are what? Responsible for making this huge store of what? Information available and accessible to what? To users. So they make information accessible and what? Available to what? To users. They are what? Information handlers or information experts. So you provide only one. if you know if there are two, you don't provide all the two options, you just write only one. If it is information handlers, write information handlers, and if it is information users, just write information users. And there are some of these things. If the question is in fill-in form and they ask you information dash is responsible for making this up, you don't need to provide the information again. You just only need to write the handlers or experts, because I've already given you the information as part of my question, assuming I started with what information and then the dash. Then you are not obliged, or you are not supposed to add the information again, but you are supposed to only write what expect and go your way. Do you understand it? That's how we answer fill-in questions. So let's move on to number 72. Players in the provision of access to information includes A. Information handlers, B. Information user, C. A and B, and D. None of the above. So the answer is what? C, which is what? Information handlers and then information users. They are what? They are the key players in provision of access to information. Now, let's look at number 73. English leads with about 70%. Okay, when it comes to what the languages, okay, English what leads with about 70%. Is it true or false? The answer. So please, if you know, drop the answer under the comment section. If it is true, number 73. If it is true, write true. True. If it is false, write false. Let me see. Okay, so the answer is what? True. Number 74. Dash is the use or expertise in what? The use or the expertise in the use of several languages. When you say the use or expertise in the use of several languages, is called what? The answer is what? Multilingualism. Okay, multilingualism. And then number 75. Dash is the study of what people buy, or what product or service they use and why. So it is what? The answer is what? Information users. Information user is what? The study of what people buy or what product or service they use and why. It is, the answer is what? Information user studies. The answer is what? User studies. So user studies is what? The study of what people buy, what products or what service they use and why they get all those services. Number 76. Dash distort communication process. A. Information communication. B. Feedback. C. Noise. And then D. Barrier. So the answer is what? Is feedback. Feedback distorts communication process. If you are talking right now and someone is making noise, the person may not hear you well because of the noise. So it is what? It is what? The noise. Okay, sorry. So the answer is what? Noise. So the noise is what? Noise distort communication process. Let's look at number 77. 77 means responses. That's what? Means responses from what? The recipient of a message to what? Assure the message source or the sender that the message has been what? Been received and understood. So the concept means that what? The response from the recipient of a message is what? To ensure that the message source, that the message has been what? Be received and understood. It's what we call what? A. Feedback. B. Communication. C. Message. And then D. Data. So the answer is what? Feedback. So feedback means what? It means response from the recipient of a message to ensure the message source, that is what? The sender, that the message has what? That the message has what? Been received and understood. So when you send a feedback to someone, you are trying to tell the person that you have received the message and you have understood the message. That is why mostly some message, but if it goes and the person hasn't replied, it could mean that the person has not received it, or probably the person doesn't understand it or want to ignore you. So that is it. Number 78. We deal with information daily on the following basis, except A. orally, B, visually, C, olfactorily, and then D, orally. So the answer is with D, which is what? Orally. With the daily encounter with information, we encounter with information on several occasions, which is what? Orally is what? Orally. The difference between them is the orally is what? Which is what? Aurally. This is what it we call what? The sense of hearing. Okay? And it is part of the daily encounter with information. When you hear something, it is what? Part. And then the visually is what? The sense of sight. Okay? How you see things. And it's also what? Part. And then olfactorily. Okay? Olfactorily. That is also has to do with what? Smell. And then the tactile has to do with what? Touching. And then gustatorily has to also what? Deal with what? Taste. Okay, so but there's nothing like orally. Okay, oral, that is what? So the answer is what? The answer here is what? Is the orally. It is not part. Number 79. Information creation involves the following, except A, writing, B, painting, C, generation of electronic data, and then D, production of database. So you can create information based on the following, but the one that isn't part of the option is what? Generation of electronic data. If I send my picture to you and you send my picture to somebody else, and the picture is also circulated to another person, has information been created? No, it's the same information. But when you write, you have created information. When you paint, you have created information. When you what? You produce a database, it is also what? Information that you have produced, right? So all of them. So let's look at this. You could see that all of them, the information is created or generated through what? Painting, writing, conducting of research, promotion of what? Database, and composition of music. Composition of what? Music is also part of what? Creation of information. Number 80. Intangible information is described as all the following except A, information described as a process or knowledge, B, abstract forms of information, C, when it is performing the role of imparting knowledge to an individual where it reduces uncertainty, and D, represent what? Physical objects. So the answer is what? Abstract forms of information. Abstract form of information isn't intangible but rather a tangible information. Okay, so that is it. Let's look at number, I'm giving you 81. Which of the following form of communication involve the use of language such as facial expression and gestures? So number 81. Okay, I didn't really number them, but I'm adding some questions, which means I've gone more than, I'm solving more than 50 questions. So we have what? A, spoken communication, B, written communication, C, non-verbal communication, and D, electronic communication. So the answer is what? The answer is non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication has to do with what? Gestures, okay, sign. Non-verbal communication takes place in our society, and almost 84% of the communication that takes place is based on is what? Is non-verbal. Someone will see you, wink at you, someone will laugh at you, someone will use his hand, the person's even posture, when you hold the person's hand, how the person will react, and all those ones shows what? So shows the person may be interested in the conversation or any other thing. So we say that one is what? The use of what? Facial expressions and what? Gestures are example of what? They are examples of what? Non-verbal communication. Number 82. Okay, number 83. So word processing, desktop publishing, voice recognition, and document document printing are means through which what? Information can be what? A, transmitted, B, stored and retrieved, C, created, and then D, selected. So the answer is what? Created. That is what? Information is created. Creation of information include what? Processing, word processing, desktop what? Publishing, voice recognition, and document creation. So I'm adding 5 more questions to it. Information and dash are intertwined. So when they give you this in a how do you call it? When they give you this in a form of what feeling, it is what information and storage. When you create information, you have to store it, so you should pay attention to this. Information and storage are intertwined. When you say they are intertwined, they are what? They are bedfellows, they are together. Okay, so um information and writing are inextricably intertwined. So the answer is what? Sorry, information and what? Storage, and not communication. Information and storage are what? Intertwined. And then the last one that I'm giving to you is what? The last one I'm solving with you. Data through, okay, so it says what? No, my last one is what? So data through a process of change is systematically arranged and processed to become what? So data through a process of change is systematically arranged and processed to become what? Information. So when you arrange data, okay, they become what? They become information. Okay, so let me add last one, which is what? Number 86, right? Assessing what? Assessing information in Africa is sometimes problematic due to the following, except A, lack of libraries, B, problem of accessing electronic information, C, expensive nature of online information, and D, reliable power supply. So which one is the answer? The answer is what? Reliable power supply. It should be what? Unreliable. So you should take note of that. So if you say accessing information in Africa is problematic due to what? The lack of all the following, except what? So reliable power supply is what? It's not a problem, but unreliable power supply is a problem. See you in the third video. God bless you for watching. Please share it and make sure you join my WhatsApp channel for more update. God bless you and thank you for watching.